Welcome, everyone, to today's explainer. Look, if you've ever felt like you just literally do not have the time to squeeze a highly effective workout into your crazy busy schedule, well, you are absolutely going to want to pay close attention to this. Today, we're breaking down the mechanics of a massively popular full-body routine that's designed to maximize your results in a remarkably short window. We are looking at the anatomy of the famous 2-week shred challenge. We're going to analyze exactly how its creator structures just 13 minutes of movement to deliver a complete, high-intensity workout.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the 13-minute shred formula, then break down set 1, core and cardio. After that, we'll hit set 2, legs and planks, followed by set 3, the final push. And we will wrap it all up with modifying for low impact. All right, first up, the 13-minute shred formula. So, the structure here is essentially the perfect antidote to the single most common fitness excuse in the book. I just don't have enough time. 13, that is the magic number. It's an incredibly short duration for a full body burn, right? The creator actually recommends tackling this 13-minute sequence every single morning, or using it as part of a free, structured 2-week shred program for maximum effectiveness. But you might be wondering, how exactly do you get a legitimate full workout in just 13 minutes? Well, it all comes down to the pacing. You're knocking out 3 total sets with 7 unique exercises packed into each one. But here is the real secret sauce, the rest periods. You only get 5 to 10 seconds of rest between exercises and just a 15-second breather between the major sets. So the crucial point is this relentless, fast-paced transition methodology. It aggressively keeps your heart rate elevated throughout the entire 13 minutes, basically turning resistance movements into a heavy cardiovascular session.
Moving right along to set 1, core and cardio.
Now that we understand the macro formula, let's see how this first block aggressively kickstarts the body. Notice how front-loaded the intensity is here. This routine doesn't ease you in, it completely launches you in. You start with cross-body mountain climbers to activate the core, but then, boom, you immediately hit burpees and high knees. It's an immediate cardiovascular escalation. By starting with heavy core engagement and explosive cardio, your body is forced to wake up instantly. It's a strategic shock to the system, demanding focus and energy right out of the gate. But even with all that intensity, the source material prioritizes proper body mechanics immediately. Throughout this grueling first set, you're reminded, remember to breathe, glutes engage, and make sure your core is tight. And this form cue is absolutely vital. When you're moving this fast with only 5 seconds of rest, your form can easily slip. Locking in that tight core protects your lower back during those explosive burpees and squats.
All right, on to set 2, legs and planks.
So, after a super brief 15-second breather, we shift focus. Let's see how this builds on the first set. We open with a really tricky move called the corkscrew, which demands high rotational core stability. Then, we just hammer the legs with reverse lunges that upgrade directly into jumping lunges. Your quads are literally on fire at this point. And to close out the block, you immediately drop into up and down planks, forcing your totally exhausted upper body to hold your entire weight. And then, back to burpees. It's an escalating difficulty curve perfectly designed to push you right to your muscular endurance limits. But again, the creator is incredibly mindful of safety during these high-intensity pushes. During those jumping lunges, the specific guidance is make sure you land softly and be safe, don't injure your ankles. It's a perfect reminder that intensity should never, ever come at the cost of your joints. You have to control the deceleration of your body weight just as much as the explosive jump upward. Which brings us to set 3, the final push. Okay, you've survived the core shock, you survived the leg burn. Now we enter the final push, which is designed to completely drain whatever energy you have left in the tank. The pacing here just goes into overdrive with these explosive combo moves. We've got lateral to curtsy lunges seamlessly flowing together, demanding massive lateral stability for your inner and outer thighs. Then you hit the Heinzman, which is this incredibly athletic high knee with a lateral jump. This whole sequence is designed to challenge your coordination and agility when you're already physically exhausted. And honestly, that is exactly how you build real-world stamina. And the final instruction for those last high knees is simple. Go all out for the last exercise. It is a literal sprint to the finish line. Because you only have to sustain it for a few seconds, the goal here is to hit absolute maximum effort, concluding the physical exertion phase of this routine with nothing left in reserve. Finally, let's talk about modifying for low impact. Now, you might be thinking about all those jumping lunges and bunny hops and saying to yourself, Yeah, no way my knees could never handle that. Well, the core philosophy of the program's modifications brilliantly addresses this, and this beautifully illustrates it. If you consider the standard high-intensity jumping lunge, it's highly plyometric, but the low-impact modification is simply a standard forward or reverse lunge. You are completely removing the flight phase of the movement. You don't even have to leave the ground to effectively tear down and rebuild those leg muscles. You just focus on the depth and the squeeze of a traditional lunge. We actually see the exact same adaptable logic with the complex compound movements. The standard move combines a push-up directly into mountain climbers, but the source material gives you total permission to decouple these moves. If combining them is just too much right now, just do knee push-ups. Or if your upper body is totally spent, just do the mountain climbers. This allows you to isolate the exercise you are most comfortable with, ensuring you can actually keep moving for the full 13 minutes without hitting a frustrating wall.
So let's rapid fire through these overarching modification rules because honestly, they're incredibly empowering. First, just remove the jumps. Step instead of hop. Second, take the movements nice and slow to prioritize muscle control over momentum. Third, modify dynamic planks by stepping one leg at a time. Fourth, drop to your knees for push-ups whenever your form starts to break. And finally, perform burpees by smoothly stepping back rather than aggressively jumping. These rules prove that a super intense, sweat-inducing workout definitely does not have to mean high-impact stress on your joints.
Which brings us to a really interesting question to wrap up today's explainer. When you strip away the "I don't have time" excuse with a routine that only takes 13 minutes, and you strip away the "it hurts my joints" excuse with these built-in low-impact modifications, what are you really left with? Is a highly structured, fully adaptable 13-minute daily commitment the ultimate secret to building lasting fitness habits? It certainly seems like the barriers to entry have been completely removed. Now it's just a matter of hitting play. Thanks so much for joining me for this breakdown, and keep exploring those routines that work best for you.